Years of brutal civil war have ripped Syria apart, with horrific devastation to its historical and archaeological heritage.
Hopeless, no future, nobody's looking forward for a future. Your biggest hope is just finding food for your kids, whatever.
But now, refugees from the war are coming together to learn an ancient craft, creating something beautiful and lasting out of the toughest of materials. Their hope that one day they could return to their homeland to use the skills of stonemasonry to help rescue their country's shattered heritage and rebuild their broken lives.
When you build something, you start from just a tiny little bit, and this is the tiny little bit.
Like so many, I watched the destruction of homes, lives and heritage in the war zones of the Middle East with horror and sorrow. These are the lands I love, boasting unique ancient sites like this, al-Jamal, just 4 miles from the Syrian border in Jordan. Built 2,000 years ago out of basalt stone, for centuries it's been a crossroads of cultures from all points of the compass. I've been travelling to this part of the world for years because I'm drawn here by the remarkable monuments and stories left behind by some of the most vibrant and energetic civilisations in human history. But I'm not just here to investigate history, because heritage sites like these are in danger across the region. I've come to Jordan because I want to see how, in the desolation of war, the restoration of the past is bringing rare hope for the future. These are the outskirts of Mafraq. Just over there, there's a reception centre for refugees. But where I'm heading is this modest little building. Now, this was originally the home of the International Medical Corps, but now it's a training centre, and there's something rather remarkable happening here. These students have been taught heritage stonemasonry from scratch, thanks to the British Council's Cultural Protection Fund, in a project run by the World Monuments Fund. This has to be one of the most extraordinary of fine craft courses. Most of these students are dispossessed refugees, women, men, teenagers who've lost their homes and fled Syria with nothing, and now creating architectural triumphs. Learning the skills which could one day help rebuild their shattered land. And a third of the students are women, tackling a job which has traditionally been the preserve of men. For over a year, the project has been overseen by a powerhouse duo, Bara and Noor.
Letting me come to see this. I mean, it's amazing to see, because I'm used to looking at these buildings from the ancient world. So imagining those stonemasons from the past creating something. So just explain to me what exactly is happening here.
We have now 45 students, Jordanian and Syrian, male and female. The age from 17 to 40.
17 to 40.
17 to 40, yeah. Actually, no one worked with a stone before.
So none of these people have ever done this before?
No.
And so is the idea that with these skills, when they can go back to Syria, they'll be able to work as stonemasons in the country.
If they can go and rebuild Syrian heritage, and they can work in cultural places, because here we are teaching them all the Islamic and cultural features, architectural features there.
This is such an important project, it feels, because when we hear about Syria, all we hear about is destruction. But here something's being created.
Yeah.
Noor is a trained architectural engineer and teaches the theory, from geometry to conservation and preservation techniques, while Bara is the local project manager.
I have to say, it's so impressive to me that you're two women running this project. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And also that you have so many women who are training as stonemasons.
Yes, we have 14 women here. All women here. It's a housewife to rebuild the places and to rebuild the old cities like here in Old Souk. Yes.
Yes, because that's Aleppo.
Yes,
what used to
it's
be
in Old Souk in Aleppo.
Bara says the trips to heritage sites have triggered a passion for the remnants of the past.
All the time the students ask why these stones here, why they build this castle here. They feel something in the heart, actually.
Yes.
In the heart, because we need to work in the heritage places. We need to rebuild our countries.
I'm told two of the most promising students are Khadija and Aisha. They both fled from Syria at the beginning of the war and were forced to reconstruct their lives here from scratch.
بس كبداية يعني كان صعب شوي. صعب. هو يعني لقينا الصعوبة بأوليتها هون إنه كيف تركنا ببيوتنا وأملاكنا كلياتها بسوريا. طلعنا على الحرب ولا شيء. يعني بتلاقي الواحد إنه تعب سنين لحتى مثلاً عمر بيته واستقر، فجأة إنه ولا شيء. مساهمة يعني الآخرين إنه نقدر نصلح. لازم إنه نرجع نرجع الآثار بلدنا اللي تدمرت، لازم إنه نقدر نرجع مثل ما كانت وأحسن.
In this impoverished area, local Jordanians have been severely challenged by the crisis at their borders. But here, Jordanians and Syrians have bonded and become close friends. And Khadija invites Bara, Noor and me for a girl power lunch.
Oh, thank you.
Khadija and her young family fled from Homs in Syria with nothing at all, except a few treasured photos of happier times at the home they've lost.
That's the only thing you brought with you.
هذا هو الشيء الوحيد اللي جبتيه معك من سوريا.
ما
Just only the
يعني
pictures.
حتى ثيابي ما جبت. همي بس إنه أولادي وجوزي أهم شيء، يعني تركت كل شيء. إن شاء الله هو بس تهدى الأوضاع أكيد رح أرجع، يعني ما بقول لا، يعني إذا صح هلا إنه كمل هيك التعليم تم يعني.
It seems to me, ladies, that in a way you're making history because it was very unusual for there to be female stonemasons. It must make you feel very proud of what you've been doing.
I'm proud of our women. It is Syrian and Jordanian both.
لأنه هو كتير عمل صعب وبده يعني بده جهد جسدي وجهد فكري وكل شيء. بالعكس المرأة أثبتت وجودها أنه شاطرة بكل شيء، يعني حتى بمجال النحت.
Inshallah. Thank you.
A number of the students tell me that stonemasonry has a therapeutic effect, that it gives order and structure to your day, that the sound of the chisels is hypnotic, the work becomes the sole centre of your attention. Some become completely absorbed in the work, as if they're able to lose themselves for a time.
Working stone connects us to our ancestors and to the skills and experiences of others from different ages and different places. And for people who've had almost everything taken from them but have time, it's also a way of connecting to the future, because stonemasonry crafts a kind of immortality, both for yourself and for your works.
Hamza is from Damascus and came here in his early teens. He's become particularly skilled in calligraphy, spending hours carefully carving Arabic scripts into the finished stone.
What does the second word say? Allah?
Allah ar-Rahman. God,
Good.
the merciful.
Merciful, yeah. Do you find when you're doing this kind of thing that you feel connected to the craftsmen and stonemasons who would have done this 500 years ago?
Exactly, yeah. When you look at those things that they built, they're so beautiful, so amazing to look at. They did it with their hands. So that's just, thinking about that is amazing.
Amazing.
The process of creating something absolutely beautiful, something that you can enjoy looking at, can be proud of. That's the beginning of the process, of overcoming something that happened to you in the past, trying to do something new.
No one at the school is under any illusions about the scale of the task ahead. This is a video shown to students. Just one terrible example of war damage to Syria's historic monuments. By the use of drones and 3D scanners, archaeologists have revealed the devastation to Beit Ghazaleh, one of the largest Ottoman-era palaces in Aleppo. The skills taught at the stonemasonry course in Jordan could rebuild and restore every architectural feature of this palace, and others like it. Perhaps, just perhaps, this offers a glimmer of hope.
The lack of skilled stonemasons is a serious cultural threat. After the civil war in Lebanon, for instance, many of the historic buildings that were damaged were simply bulldozed away. And there's a very real possibility that that might well happen in Syria too, which is why this scheme, it feels to me, is fighting the cause of the past, the present, and the future.
In the end, it's not just about art, but about love. Love for archaeology, for the legacy of the past, and the power of culture to bring people together, helping to find direction for the future and to heal the wounds of the past.